Hello everybody and welcome back to Disney News Channel. Today I'm going to do a review for Miles Morales PS4. I think it's an okay sequel that feels more like a DLC than a sequel that doesn't try anything new. The game reuses the same map of the previous game and doesn't add any new additions aside from some weather variations. Not only is the map the same, but also the side content, just with different names. There are also a few new side things, like the sound game, but you unlock that side activity halfway through the game. I also love how the sound game fills in the relationship between the Prowler and Miles' dad. The time capsules don't build out the world like the backpacks do in the Spider-Man game, but I like that the time capsules build out the Finn and Miles relationship and how close they were. The Spider-Man challenges can be pretty crazy and creative in how they mix up the gameplay. In one challenge, you can only defeat enemies by throwing objects at them. Finn is the villain of this game, and is one of the standout characters of this game, and also one of the only characters that get any development. The character starts off as a childhood friend of Miles, but we slowly start to see how things are different between them after they went their own ways. All of their interactions lead up to my favorite mission, Someone Left the Lights On, where we see what happened to her and how her parents died. And that she was raised by her brother. The next mission is kind of like a part 2 to the previous mission, and we get to see what happened to Finn's brother, and like magic, all the pieces of her backstory come together and create a great villain. Simon Krieger is another villain, but unlike Finn, this villain has no story and his motivations are money. The characters also have no mission where they explore why he loves money so much and why it means so much to him. Not only is this a disappointing villain, you don't even get a boss fight with him. This villain is also hardly in the game, just existing in 2 cutscenes, and all he does is kidnap Spider-Man and Finn. This world could have also been better filled with Norman Osborn from the first game, making this game more necessary to the Spider-Man game timeline. The Prowler is the other villain, and just like Simon, he only gets 3 cutscenes where they explore him. However, unlike Simon, he at least has the sound minigame to explore the relationship to his brother and why he wants to keep Miles safe. The character's motivations are also more compelling and complex than just wanting money. I also like how his character links up with the final talk Miles has with his mom at the end about how complicated people are. When this game was announced, part of me was wondering why we needed a whole story based on Miles, after I thought we had his origin story in Spider-Man PS4. Now I get that the Spider-Man story was how he got his powers, but he still needs a story where he steps up to the plate and chooses to be the hero, just like in Into the Spider-Verse. Miles' character also has some great scenes with his mom that make me cry, and it's nice to see how much she believes in her son. The boss fights in this game are a mixed bag. There is Rhino, which you fight twice. Both are pretty disappointing. Then there is the Prowler and the Tinkerer, which are both really good. Instead of fighting Rhino twice, why didn't they give the second boss fight to Simon Krieger so we could finally get some more character out of him? The only thing different about the second Rhino is that he has stronger armor and can do more damage. The Outlaw boss is pretty cool in that there are 3 decoy versions of him that you need to defeat. This boss fight also adds a lot of perspective to the Outlaw. The final battle with the Tinkerer is pretty climactic, with you having to defeat her 4 times. Once again, it's nice to see that even though Miles is fighting her, he is still trying to talk her down. As much as I loved the characters, I have to admit that the story was pretty subpar compared to the Spider-Man game. Not only that, but unlike the first game that told some of the story through the levels, in this the events of the first game. All the Rockstar missions look like the same boring hallway, with nothing amazing to look at. The level at Fisk Tower is just a copy of the tower in the first game, with nothing new added. Some of the interactions are heartwarming, like in the La Noblia mission, where when you interact with the picture of his dad, Miles says, "I will make you proud." In the end, this is a decent game that gets a few things wrong, but makes up for it with a few things made really well, like Finn and Miles. That's all for now, guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon.